One missing VP, 15 stakeholders, how Stakeholder Register saved $2 million, a PMP exam masterclass by the Panda. The PMP exam frequently questions you on the Stakeholder Register. Here is the exact place where candidates who thoroughly read the chapter still get tripped up. The textbook concept makes complete sense on paper, but it falls apart when you try to apply it to a fluid corporate environment. I watched a $2 million deployment freeze completely because one vice president never received a stakeholder plan. I am Paul, PM Panda, 25 years as a PMP. I have run projects from construction sites to software launches, and I have made most of the mistakes I am about to warn you about. When we miss a critical stakeholder, the consequences show up directly in our project performance metrics, not just in broken relationships. A single overlooked executive can pull funding, withhold sign-offs, or halt operations entirely while your team sits idle. My own experience involved a software deployment where a single missing approval from an unlisted VP put the entire implementation on ice. Your sponsor will look at a timeline that is slipping and want to know why these requirements were not uncovered during planning. The Stakeholder Register is a formal project document containing information about project stakeholders, including their identification, assessment, and classification. PMBOK 8 structures this register to capture who is affected, their potential project impact, and whether their influence is internal or external. Internal stakeholders operate within your organization, like your project team or the sponsor who funds your work. External stakeholders exist outside the organization, such as government regulatory bodies or local community groups. My early tech rollouts taught me that misclassifying these individuals means building an engagement strategy that misses their true needs. Before we look at the math, consider who holds the power to pause your current work right now. It does not have to be an official manager. Just see if your current project documents reflect everyone who can influence your daily output. The next section covers the specific classification framework the PMP exam uses to separate prepared candidates from unprepared ones. Let's look at an exam-style scenario that mirrors what happens when this document is neglected. You are managing a massive hospital software upgrade with 15 stakeholders, which includes 4 external regulators. Your initial baseline is solid, with a planned value of $2 million for the entire deployment. However, the implementation suddenly halts at exactly 75% completion because the team missed getting an approval from one external regulator. This operational freeze locks your earned value at $1.5 million while your planned timeline keeps ticking forward. To find the exact performance impact for the exam, we must calculate the schedule variance. SV equals EV minus PVSV equals 1.5 million minus 2 million equals minus 2 million plus 1 million, 500,000 equals minus 500,000, SV equals minus 500,000, answer B, behind schedule. This negative $500,000 variance shows the exam that you are lagging significantly behind your timeline. The math tells the steering committee the objective truth about the delay caused by that one missing regulatory approval. Here is what I see most often in my consulting work, and one of these I made myself early in my career. The biggest trap is treating the register as a static document that you fill out once during initiation and then archive. Another major error is misclassifying your internal project sponsor as an external stakeholder because they sit in a different corporate division. The PMP exam will deliberately try to trick you into thinking a powerful internal leader should be treated like an outside client. To protect my projects now, I strictly follow the Identify Stakeholders process as a continuous loop. Step 1. Identify all individuals and groups impacted by the project by reviewing charter documents and procurement contracts. Step 2. Update the Stakeholder Register iteratively throughout the project lifecycle as the environment evolves and new leaders join. I make it a habit to reevaluate this register at the start of every new project phase to ensure no new faces have emerged. The PMP exam heavily tests whether you recognize that stakeholder identification is an ongoing responsibility, not a one-time event. Practitioners often think they can just manage a vocal stakeholder through casual emails without updating formal project records. The exam will phrase questions to see if you instinctively update the stakeholder register before taking any other corrective action. It wants to see that you manage project communications through structured project documents rather than relying on unrecorded conversations. Question 1. A project manager is leading a global retail expansion. During execution, a local community group protests the construction. What should the project manager have done to prevent this? A. Issued a change request immediately. B. Consulted the communications management plan. C. Escalated the issue to the project sponsor. D. Identified the community group in the stakeholder register early in the project. Correct answer. D. The community group is an external stakeholder and must be identified in the register to plan appropriate engagement. Common trap. B is tempting, but you cannot plan communications for a stakeholder you have not identified yet. Question 2. You are leading a hospital software upgrade with 15 stakeholders and a planned value of $2 million. During the project, you discover 4 external regulators require compliance reports. A missed approval halts work at 75% completion, locking earned value at $1,500,000 and creating a schedule variance of -$500,000. Which document must be updated first to reflect this finding? A. The project charter. B. The risk register. C. The stakeholder register. D. The communications management plan. Correct answer. C. The 4 external regulators are new stakeholders and must be added to the stakeholder register first before updating other plans. Common trap. B is tempting because regulators pose a risk, but stakeholder identification comes first. Question 3. A project sponsor for a new tech launch demands weekly updates. A working project manager might treat them as an external client to manage carefully. How does the PMP exam classify the project sponsor? A. As an external stakeholder. B. As an internal stakeholder. C. As a regulatory body. D. As a project team member. Correct answer. B. The PMP exam defines the sponsor who provides resources and support as an internal stakeholder. Common trap. A is tempting because practitioners often treat external clients as sponsors, but the sponsor is an internal role. If you found this lesson helpful, please hit like and subscribe to help support the channel. I highly recommend you open your project stakeholder register today and verify that all internal and external parties are completely documented. This is exactly what I wish someone had told me to do when I was studying for my own certification.